Crackheads, welcome back to another episode of the Kraken Cans Cast, where we talk all things cryptid,
Hit the things.
all things urban legends,
Hit that thing.
and all things just a little bit or a lot spooky.
I don't like when we get a lot spooky.
Yeah, I do some things in my pants.
Yeah. We're really thanging it up today.
Yeah.
You know what you need. Your next topic should be white thang. From
Yeah.
down there in Alabama.
The white thing.
White thang.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. I'll freaking do it. You dare me to?
Yeah. Double dog dare me. It's on.
Freaking double dog dare you.
Like Donkey Kong.
So how are things?
Things are good. I mean, rain. We're
Dude,
gonna have to start building an ark soon.
I saw a thing in like our area. If the rain would be snow, we would have had. And we did talk about this a little bit, but I didn't totally confirm it with you. But I'm throwing it out there now. This is like the buy me a coffee that I still haven't set up all over again. But
Great.
So yeah. So as soon as we get the stickers, we'll throw them up on Facebook. And if you want first crack at these stickers, all you have to do is one simple thing. You go on to whatever you're listening to the podcast on, whether it's Apple, whether it's Spotify, whatever it is. You give us hopefully a 5-star review. You write a little review for us. Take a screenshot of it. Email us. We'll send you a sticker. I mean, you got to obviously give us your address and stuff like that. And I'll make Corey sign a napkin.
No, okay, I'll send a napkin. We
Yeah.
got TP Aaron signing TP.
Oh yeah, we could do that. We could have Aaron signing toilet paper.
Hell yeah. With a brown Sharpie too,
With a
folks.
brown Sharpie. So if you want first crack at the sticker, that's all you have to do. I feel like that's pretty simple. Because I saw a thing the other day online, and it was like a paranormal page, and they had these pretty awesome stickers on there, and it's like, hey, if you like horror movie merch, I think it was a horror movie page, not a paranormal page, but if you like horror movie stuff and you want stickers like this, if you do like X, Y, and Z, we'll send you free stickers. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to do that. I got all the way through it, and they're like, yeah, you just got to pay $6 for shipping. It's like, they're stickers.
Yeah.
$6.
Throw it in an envelope,
$6.
slap a stamp on there.
You're making $5. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
I spazzed out good at that. I X'd out of my phone. Just threw it. So I don't know how to X out of it.
Yeah, so you just threw it.
Yeah, just threw it. I feel like that got the message across.
Because I know me, like, I have a little bit of a sticker addiction.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I have a Coleman cooler upstairs that is just, every time I go travel somewhere, buy me a sticker.
Viagra stickers all over that thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, I keep them on the bottom though so people can't see them.
Well, right on top.
There's no room there,
Right
boys.
next to his herpes stickers.
Yeah, it's I got herpes in Florida.
What's up? What is it like we're talking about? What's up with herpes? You post something about herpes on TikTok?
I was getting pissed today.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's a bunch of like scamming herpes sites out
What
there.
is there to scam though?
I don't know.
I don't understand. That's the biggest thing. I feel like, did you ever see the episode of South Park with the underwear gnomes, underpant gnomes?
A long time ago.
So there's like 3 keys to the underpant gnomes, you know? The one thing is they sneak into your room and they steal your underpants. They don't know what the second point is yet. They haven't figured that out yet. But the third point, make profit. I feel like that's how it is. Like, talk about herpes, get people to come here. Not sure how we're going to do it, but we're going to make profit off that somehow.
So all day, I was getting alerts on my phone. Oh, comment, TikTok, comment. Herpes. I'm just delete. I've been deleting comments all day.
At least they were nice comments.
I guess. It's just a bunch of spam.
Then maybe they're not, though. Maybe this is some magical leaf you rub on your wiener to get rid of herpes.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's saying the herpes was cured.
Yeah.
So, maybe.
Could be. I don't know. I'm not going to ever find out. I'm going to live with herpes forever. And that's my choice.
Fucking beer we got.
What beer we got? Corey's all right. Corey, we're 5 minutes in. Corey's had absolutely enough of me tonight. All right, so I don't think we've had any victory brewing yet.
Did we have Dirt Wolf?
Did we do Dirt Wolf? I didn't think we actually used it.
Did we?
Yet.
Oh, maybe we didn't. We just talked about it. Maybe.
Yeah, I think I already have the topic picked out for Dirt Wolf. I just haven't done the topic yet. Not going to tell you guys either. You're going to tune into the cast to find out. But Victory is one of the OG Central PA microbrews. So they were like around right at the rise of Trogs, which is one of our favorites. I feel like Trogs and Victory kind of started like coming up together, and Trogs really.
I feel like Victory was always ahead of them, and then Trogs eventually.
Just in the past couple of years, Trogs I feel like past them, but Victory still makes really good beer.
Oh, yeah.
So they're co-founders Bill and Ron. The story of Victory Brewing Company starts on a school bus in 1973 when fifth grader Ron Barchett and Bill Kowaleski stepped on board on the way to their new school. The two became fast friends and remained so, even as they grew up and went to college on opposite coasts. Just months out of college, Bill's appreciation of good beer I feel like I'm out of breath. I don't know what's going on. And access to his father's homebrewing equipment inspired him to explore the hobby. That same year in 1985, Bill gave Ron a homebrewing kit for Christmas. With that, both Bill and Ron developed their love of craft beer, and a friendly rivalry grew between the two. The good-natured competition pushed Bill and Ron to become accomplished and start Victory Brewing. And as far as the beer we got, I remember back in the day, this beer was like the hoppiest thing like known to man when I was like 21 years old. So we're talking a while ago, 13 years, something like that. This was like Hop City. Bold, spicy. This American hopped IPA offers an aromatic punch and follows through with a lasting full-bodied finish. And when I first got into drinking, which we're talking about a hot minute now, I already said all this. Wow. Dude, like, past Mike knew what future Mike was going to say.
I was like, get some deja vu over here.
Man, that freaked me out. That freaked me out right there. But this beer was insanely hoppy, but, like, I would say on the scale, like, now compared to what is, like, super duper hoppy, this is more malty than anything.
Oh, yeah.
But either way, it's still a delicious brew. And how does this tie into the topic? Well, picture this. Dark night when you see a creature. It panics, wanting to get away. When all you see is this devil-like demon hop away. So it's a play on words.
Nice.
Yeah. The hop, Corey's looking at the bottle, you son of a bitch. Put that thing down. The hops that describe this delicious brew is the same word that is described how this creature jumps away. So Corey, I got one more word for you. Cheers. You thought something bad was coming. Dude, you gave me a look. Do you want to? All right, go ahead, dive.
Yeah,
you have no idea what this thing even is.
All right, folks.
I told him we were doing the Van Meter Visitor tonight, and it took, I saw it in his face. It took him a second until he realized we weren't.
Well, I know, didn't you say something about nighttime in your thing? Nighttime?
Yeah, I mean, it's seen at night.
Seen at night, yeah. Look, if you look at this bottle here, you guys can't see it, but there's a little green devil-looking, leaf-looking fella.
It's a hop.
Hop, okay, yeah, hop. Little hop devil.
Yeah. You see what they did there?
Yeah, I did. Right on the front of this bottle. And then behind him, it's a nighttime scene. You see some stars in the sky. So I'm thinking that we're talking about like some type of alien guy today.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
Well, whatever this thing is on this bottle, looks like he came out of the night sky. So
there you go.
That's what I'm thinking about this.
Corey made another beer tie-in without having any clue what the topic is. You son of a bitch, you did it again.
Cheers.
However many times you've done this, you've nailed every one. Malty, hoppy, it's a delicious brew. It's a dark IPA too. You pour it in a glass, pour it out, it's dark.
Yeah.
You know, the last time I had this, I bought a case of this. Remember back in, it was probably like 8 or 9 years ago, and we got like that, like 25 inches of snow there in like a day and a half.
Yep, I remember.
This is what I was hammering back.
Stuck in my driveway. I was shoveling all day and using my snowblower.
I was playing PlayStation. BioShock.
Remember, my supervisor had to come pick me up because that was pre-truck.
Pre-truck.
I think I had a Jetta, and I couldn't get that boy out of the driveway because we had
a driveway.
No, snow.
Oh yeah,
feet on feet of snow.
I remember me and my dad. We like he had this little wheel horse tractor, and that thing went he went to drive it out of the garage, and it went like 3 foot, just went like because it just couldn't push the snow. So we shoveled, and we got it like wide enough so when he went up the driveway, his mirrors like caught and folded in. That's all. I think we were so wore out from making it that big.
Damn.
But it was good times. So that's what I think of when I drink this beer.
It's a good beer, and Victory was like the first, I don't know what, craft brewery that I got into.
What was your beer choice?
Golden Monkey.
Golden Monkey.
Yeah.
Not a big Golden Monkey fan.
I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
Now that I've widened my palate.
Yeah.
But back then,
Physically or?
physically,
Yeah, I like that. I can see that.
spiritually.
Spiritually. Boy, if that's not a word, it should be.
That's what I'm saying.
And with that,
Let's go.
let's go. All right, Corey. Source material. You like that? I used the word source material today. I don't know. It sounded so much better than sources. Source material from today. I use cryptidsfandom.com, NorthAmericanCryptids.com, and thelineup.com are my three main sources. The-line-up.
Sounds like a sports site.
Yeah, it does. But it's not. Apparently it's Enfield Monster site, I guess. So, Corey, what do you know about Enfield?
Isn't it in like Illinois or something?
You got it, man. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Pulled that on my butt.
All right. Well, hey, quick description of it. It's in the southern part of Illinois. Freaking Corey nailed it right out of his butt. It's kind of surrounded by the three states, Kentucky, Indiana, Missouri. The town, or it's actually a village because it's not big enough to be a town, is located straight. If you would draw a straight line between Louisville and St. Louis, it's like kind of almost right in the middle of those two. You actually can take like one highway. You would drive like through Enfield to get to them.
Okay.
And it's got a whopping population of 582 people as of 2022. This might be one of the smaller towns we've done.
You know what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking they got a pretty small post office.
I bet they do have a small post. Now I got to look at that.
Because Ochopee, Florida, they had a population of like 400. And their post office was 61 square feet.
Yeah. This is the second biggest post office in the United States.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, I just made that up. I don't know. I think it's just a normal post office. I'm looking it up. They don't have any pictures of it.
We're going to start
figure.
throwing that into the episodes. Like,
We should. Yeah, we're going to let it, wherever town we're in, we're going to start letting you know.
What's their size post office?
We'll try and get some Google images for you guys and stuff of their post offices. But with this small town, with more than likely a small post office, in 1973, Corey, a monster legend was born. The legend of the Enfield Monster. And I want to start this off by saying this isn't the Enfield Poltergeist, which is like the Conjuring 2 movie over in England and all that. That's a whole different thing. So if you came in here and you're like, dang, I can't wait to learn about this poltergeist that Ed Sausage-Eating Warren went over there and hit, I'm sorry, but I think I'll have something that you may like, or you'll probably just absolutely hate. And there's a good chance you already turned it off. But when Corey said Illinois, they're like, what?
There's an Illinois in...
Yeah. Jeez, Illinois, England. How crazy is that? I can't believe there's a Louisville and a St. Louis. This is nuts. All right, so the story starts April 25th, 1973, with a kid by the name of Greg Garrett. He was 10 years old, living in Enfield. One day he was playing in his yard, and Garrett came running into the house, terrified of what he had just saw. His parents tried to calm him down the best they could, and once they were able to comfort him, they asked him what happened. He said a creature had attacked him outside, physically attacked him. Let's be honest. Would you, Corey, as a parent, believe, I know we don't have any 10-year-olds, we will, would you believe a 10-year-old that was going on and on and on about being attacked by some monster?
Possibly.
Possibly.
I don't know. It's going to depend. It's going to depend on the 10-year-old.
Your 10-year-old.
Well, if I'm looking at my oldest son when he's 10, I would probably believe him.
You're going to believe the kid that just reads nothing but monster books. So, of course, if a crow hits him, that dude's going to blame the Van Meter visitor for it.
No, because that dude don't lie. Like, everything he says is, like, truth. Like, I believe him more than, like, my wife.
Wow.
And she would say the same about me, just to be fair.
Well, in her defense, that's easier, I would say. Anyhow.
Just keep reading,
yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know if I would believe it. Like, a 10-year-old, even a 10-year-old could really think they're telling you the truth and be totally off. So the parents roll in their eyes, listen intently as he described the creature. The description is crazy, almost to the point where I would have a hard time believing someone could make this up, let alone a 10-year-old. The boy described a creature as being three-legged, with gray slimy skin, short arms with claws, and of course, glowing red eyes. Because what would a cryptid be without glowing red eyes? The 3-leg thing is what throws me off in all this. 3-leg, maybe it was a tail?
Or his wiener.
Could be his wiener. Could be his wiener.
Like when you started going over this, I was thinking, like, if you would have said some, like, lube.
Lube?
I was thinking, like, P. Diddy could have been the creature.
Like I was only missing describing him as, so, gray slimy skin and lube?
And 3 legs.
Sure. Is that the only part of it that really made you think of that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not the short arms with claws?
Yeah.
As the parents listened to his tale, he told them about how the monster had stomped on his foot when attacking him. This is when his parents looked down and noticed that his shoes were totally shredded. When the parents saw this, they phoned the police, not exactly sure what they said to the police to get them out there. But sure enough, they came out and did an investigation. And Corey, guess what they found?
Freaking nothing.
Absolutely nothing. So it's interesting. We have a 10-year-old kid claiming to be attacked. I feel like it's hard to believe a kid this age. We could just have an active imagination or be playing an elaborate prank. But that is until a half hour later, the neighbor has a sighting of this creature. So what if I told you this wasn't going to be the only sighting of the creature? What if I told you that there was a sighting man, dude.
Did you just say that?
Future Mike and past Mike are
They need to get in fucking sync.
fucking connect. Fuck you. We are in sync. We're so in sync, we know what we're going to say.
I guess.
So later that night, Henry McDaniels, a neighbor of the Garrett family, returned home. When he walked into the house, his 2 children ran over to him, totally terrified. He asked them what was going on. As a dad, your mind always goes to the worst. Someone hurt? Were they robbed? What's happening? The children said something was at the back door. It has been scratching at the door for 10 minutes or so, slamming at it trying to get in. Earlier, before Henry got home, they said that whatever was out there was trying to yank the air conditioner out of the window to get into the house. As he was listening to their tale, that's when all of them heard the scratching. But this time, at the front door. McDaniels told his kids to go in their room, and he went to investigate. And as he walked to the door, he convinced himself that it had to be a stray cat, a raccoon. Could be anything trying to get inside. It was a colder evening for April, so it was probably just something that wanted to come in to get warm. When McDaniel swung open the door, that's when he saw it. Measuring around 4.5 feet tall with 3 legs, it was the creature he had never seen before. Just like his neighbor Greg Garrett had seen a half hour before, this creature had gray slimy skin, 2 short claw arms, and a light red or pink eyes. I don't know if it's pink eye or just pink eyes. Could go either way.
So you know who probably did a flyby?
Well, probably the Mothman. Could
Farted.
happen. I wish I could never remember what the name is, like the technical name for pink eye.
Yeah, it's just pink eye.
Which
I don't know
just
either.
It's just pink eye. So McDaniel slammed the door, ran back the hallway to his bedroom. The children, looking out of their door, could see his look of panic and disbelief.
He didn't have any guns?
He shouted at them to close their door and stay in their room. Now armed with a flashlight and his .22, he had to go get it.
Okay.
Because, I just thought it was like a cat there. He wasn't too worried about, like, blasting the cat away, you know?
But like, I was thinking when you were going over that, like, I'm just thinking about my own cats. Like, when they're starting to scratch and stuff, like, at the bedroom door or whatever it is, like, it sounds freaking loud.
It is loud. My like, dumb cat just rams his head square into the door all the time to try and open it.
Yeah. So does Dale, I think.
And it sounds like almost somebody's knocking on, like somebody's, like, shaking your door trying to get in.
Like, it's pretty loud, so.
Yeah, he's a real douchebag. I don't think he's listening to this.
Yeah.
Well,
Dale could be.
Oh, Dale probably is. I just saw his head poke through the cat door over there. Huh? He doesn't usually he greets me when I come in. I haven't seen him in a hot minute.
He might not be able to fit back down the stairs through that cat door. He struggles.
Plumped up a little bit.
Yeah.
More. I want to say a little bit because.
Yeah.
So as he eased his way to the front door, the scratching continued. This thing wanted to get inside the house bad. McDaniels flung open the door, shined a light on the creature, and shot 4 shots, hitting it with at least 1, maybe even all 4. The creature jumped back and let out a hiss. Whew, man. Freak me, I would keep shooting then. That's I think made that noise. Freaking empty it. I'd empty it. Like when you would hear from a big cat or cougar. I should have read that before I had you do. I don't know. I think that could still be a big cat or cougar.
Hell yeah, it could.
Yeah.
I'm a big cat.
A big cat. That's what we call Corey. Big cat.
Big cat, baby.
Big cat.
Little wiener.
Well, big cat, little wiener, itchy butthole. And that's when the creature took off, but it didn't run. Guess what it did, Corey?
Charged.
Corey, think of the beer description. What did it do?
I forget the beer description.
It jumped.
Okay.
It hopped.
Hopped.
It hopped.
All right.
It jumped.
Yeah.
With its 3 legs going about 50 or so feet with every leap. Ran towards the embankment for the nearby railroad tracks and vanished into the night. McDaniels phoned the police, who were already very close to the area, so they were there in no time at all. He told them how he fired at the creature and it ran toward the embankment, and the police searched for blood, but there was none to be found. They did, however, find evidence.
I know what they found.
What'd they find?
Some hair.
Some hair?
No, I didn't. No. They probably found some dingleberries.
Dingleberries?
No, I was going to say 3 footprints.
They did find 3 footprints. They could see, well, first they could see scratch marks on the door, or they could see something that was trying to get in. Better than that, they found footprints of the creature. And what was interesting is the footprints look like dog prints, but dogs have 4 pads on their feet.
Yeah.
These ones had 6. And as they looked closer, I guess they were able to tell because one of the back tracks was much smaller than the other 2.
That was his 3rd leg.
3rd leg. And the exact quote from McDaniels gave to the police. Are you ready? I got this is like an exclusive I was able to get.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
It had 3 legs on it. A short body, 2 little arms coming out of its breast area, 2 pink eyes as big as flashlights. It's still 4.5 foot tall. It was grayish in color. It was trying to get into my house. I mean, that's not much of an exclusive. That's pretty much just sums up the whole story I just told you. But I don't know. I feel like I needed to an exclusive. Made it sound cooler, I guess. So from this point on, for the next few weeks, McDaniels would tell everyone, and I mean everyone that would listen, about this encounter. And guess what? This isn't McDaniels' only encounter with this creature. And with that, Corey, let's take a beer break.
Beer break.
Beer break.
You're not going to get me this time.
All right, we're back. Beer cup full. Half lager, half IPA, and Corey's.
Ooh, that's a good combination.
I believe you.
That's freaking good.
That's freaking good, he says.
I corrected myself, folks.
So I told you that wasn't McDaniels' last encounter with the creature, right? Remember I told you that?
Yeah. Which one was McDaniels again, just to make sure that the people have it right?
You say it so seriously. Just to make sure for the people.
For the people.
Henry McDaniels is the older guy with the gun.
Yeah, just he's not like the...
That's Greg Garrett.
The sheriff.
The sheriff. We haven't talked about the sheriff
The
yet.
police.
Okay.
Yeah, but back then they were all sheriffs.
They were all sheriffs. Yep, there's no names for police so far at all. There's just Greg Garrett and his parents and McDaniels and his kids.
All right, you got that, guys? And girls?
Girls. So 2 weeks later, on May 16th, McDaniels has another encounter with the creature. This encounter, I'm going to say, is it's funny to me. So McDaniels called into a local radio station to tell them about his encounter. And he has already bothered this radio station with his first encounter. This is a radio station out of Indiana, which isn't super far, but it's
it's right in Pennsylvania.
What?
Indiana, Pennsylvania.
No, this is the state of Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We're good now. Whew.
So he called in the radio station to tell him about his latest encounter, which, these guys got to be, they're excited when they see old McDaniels is calling.
How does this dude have so many encounters?
Must just live in the right area.
Yes.
Or he's full of shit.
Yeah.
Either way, makes me happy. So he was awakened one night around 3 a.m. to the sounds of the neighborhood dogs howling and barking. Being on edge from the situation 2 weeks ago, he grabbed his light and his gun, and he headed to the front door. So he brought it this time, right away. Only this time, there's no scratching at the door. But as he exited the house, he caught something moving on the train tracks. So these train tracks are the same train tracks that it ran off to when he shot.
Okay.
Well, jumped off to, I guess you would say.
Do you know like where this guy lived? Like, was there a lot of other houses around?
I don't know.
You don't know,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
I mean, if there's only 500 people, I mean, I figure
More than likely they're not
spread
stacked
out.
too close.
Yeah.
Especially I'm guessing in 72 there's probably even less than that.
Oh, is that population from like now?
That was from
Oh, okay.
2022. So as he exited the house, he caught something moving up on the train tracks by his house. He could see the creature again. He didn't shoot at it. And he specifically, like, when he called in, he was just like, I didn't shoot at it or nothing.
I didn't shoot at shit.
Yeah. I didn't shoot at it or nothing.
Yeah.
Instead, he chose to just observe it. And he kind of, like, eased up behind it because he wanted to see what it was doing. And, dude, this thing was just bebopping down the tracks. And eventually it just went into the woods right there. And it was gone for that night.
So he was just out there watching this thing.
Yeah, apparently. He did not shoot at it. He was very specific about that for whatever reason that in his brain was important to him.
Huh.
Did not shoot at it.
Wonder why.
I really don't know. Not sure about this feller. Now, the media was already running all kinds of articles and stuff about the monster because, like I said earlier, McDaniels was telling everyone who would listen about the creature. And the second sighting he had, along with the call into the radio station, made the frenzy get even crazier. So guess who started showing up?
The
nobody.
Men in Black?
Oh, the Men in Black didn't. That would be a good. I bet they were there, though. I feel like they had to
You know
be
what?
there.
I have it right
Okay.
here. I know what happened. So the McDaniels was out there creeping down the railroad tracks watching this thing, and the Men in Black were behind him, creeping behind him, watching it.
And then behind the Men in Black
Was the Mothman.
was the freaking Mothman.
Yeah. And then Van Meter was behind him
Yeah.
saying, I'm going to fuck up all these bitches.
And then Champ, he was just way over in the lake just going, hey, wait up.
Yeah.
No, self-proclaimed monster hunters were
Ooh.
busting into town.
Holy
And-
shit.
Like, you can just imagine what monster hunters are. You
Like,
know
what
I
do
mean?
you, so, all right. So when I hear that, I picture like a burly, bearded fella, probably wearing like a flannel.
I picture
and
the flannel.
boots,
Yeah.
jeans, having some tobacco in her lip.
I picture like a flannel guy, just super skinny, and honestly, kind of just a total doofus though.
Okay, so
Like I picture more of somebody that it's like, yeah, I'm a monster hunter. I killed a bat once.
I
Yeah.
see. Like I picture just these drunken hillbilly big boys
Dad
just pulling up in their pickup trucks,
and I
like-
picture just drunken, skinny hillbillies. I think we're just the only difference is our weight that we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
I think. So these guys were armed to the teeth, ready to help rid the town of this creature, and maybe, just maybe, try and collect a reward or two along the way.
Was there any like rewards out there?
Not
for this
that I
thing?
know
Yeah.
of, but I just think. I think with like monster hunters, your hope is that you kill something like this and then you just have the body, so you can
Yeah,
just
you
charge people to see the body, like
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers 2. You know, it's hanging up in the rafters, and the guy's like, you know, the thing out of the barn. It's I don't know how many years it is. It's got a big giant freaking crossbow fixed on it. I don't know. Jeepers Creepers 2. That confused me. That movie's weird. First one I liked.
I don't know if I ever saw the second.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah.
You know, the director directed another movie called Clown House, and he actually molested a child on set.
Like for real?
For real.
What an asshole.
Yeah. And that's why I don't like watching the Jeepers Creepers movies after that. Prefer not
Yeah.
to support them.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. It's weird.
There's a lot-
Corey's going to go punch his Jeepers Creepers DVD right in the face right upstairs.
I'll find it. I got a box right over there of all
It's in
kinds of
there, man.
DVDs.
He don't freaking punch that son of a bitch right in the face.
Hell yeah.
So after a few nights of these men patrolling, they did see something. Now, we talked about it a little bit already, but I feel like I just really want to strongly put these people into perspective. And this is what the sheriff described later on in these people. These monster hunters are not professional type people. I really feel like you got to quit the quotes around monster hunters. This isn't some kind of like cryptozoologist that was there to study this creature and try and actually find evidence. They weren't really there to help the town at all. They were more so just there so they could hammer back brews and shoot the shit out of some monsters. Or anything that moved, more or less, in the woods. Like, they're just ready to start blasting. It's you know,
Bunch of Franks
just freaking pulling out their pistol and started blasting. But nonetheless, the men spent countless nights patrolling the train tracks where the creature seemed to like to hang out. And one night, 5 young men, I have quotes around this, saw the creature. Well, what they say was the creature hiding under a bush. They shot at it. They said they saw the gray and all that. They started firing bullets into the night, letting the freaking lead fly. And just like McDaniels, when he shot at it, they came up totally empty-handed, much like our boy Van Meter.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of similarities.
There is. The jumping.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I start to wonder. The creature didn't seem to even be affected by the bullets. And this is when the sheriff of the town, Roy Posher Jr.
We got the sheriff now,
Finally
boys.
got
We
him.
got the sheriff, baby.
The sheriff, Roy Posher Jr., dude,
why is Roy like such a sheriff like first name?
I don't know. Why are all sheriffs like juniors too?
Yeah.
Like their freaking old man was a sheriff too. It just
Yeah.
runs in the family. He lost his shit when all these guys just shot in the night like this.
In
like
his
he had
town.
enough.
Yeah.
He had enough. So he threw the book at these guys. He got them on any kind of hunting violations he could. He got them any kind of gun charge. Like, he just threw the book and just arrested these guys, hit them with every fine, because he just wanted to make an example. Like, he wanted these guys out of his town.
Where'd you say they were from again?
The
Did it say?
monster hunters?
Yeah.
All over.
Like all over. Just
yeah, they just showed up. Yeah. He even threatened to throw McDaniels into jail if he didn't stop talking about the monster, because everybody was just absolutely losing their mind in this entire town about it.
Yeah, see, like this dude was probably just trying to get control of the town again.
He is. He's trying
Yeah.
to mellow it. Like, and I understand his aspect of it, and especially when it came to all these like monster hunters.
Yeah.
These guys,
all these foreigners.
yeah, foreigners, yeah, probably from freaking Missouri and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably don't even speak Illinoisans.
Probably them Pennsylvanians.
No,
They would have got the job done.
probably not. We're still looking for the freaking the mountain lion that patrols our state that everybody's seen, but nobody's ever captured on any kind of game camera.
Yeah. But hey, we're the Keystone State, so F y'all.
I don't even know what that means.
We hold the whole country together is what it means.
Oh, yeah, we do. Like a big keystone, always smooth, always. So, Corey, what do you think from what you heard so far about this?
Well, I think I already said, like, I think there's a lot of Van Meter mixing with this.
Did I text you that I thought that a lot of this reminded me of the Van
You might
Meter?
have, yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy.
So you got, like, more on this? Like, is there, like...
There's a little bit more,
Yeah.
like another sighting and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really got... I mean, like I said, Van Meter, you got all these people with their guns and trying to shoot this thing down, so... Sheriff's in town trying to sort through everything.
He's being proactive, too. Like, the dude he's done putting up with shit. The sheriff, he ain't putting up with any shit.
Yeah.
So, Corey, remember when I told you that there's a radio station that McDaniels was calling into?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of really set this last story into motion. So, the director of the radio station, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say this is like his like radio name. His name is Rick Rainbow. I'm just...
There might be some movies with this guy in it, too. I'm not going to say what kind of movies.
Yeah. I feel like there's a good chance that Rick he's carried the banner in a pride parade or two, and that's all right.
And he's taken a few whacks to his backside, too, if you know what I mean.
All right, so along with 3 other men... damn it, that's my next line. So Rick Rainbow, along with 3 other men that weren't
Took some
named...
whacks to the butt.
Yeah, they decided that they were going to venture into the woods in the area around McDaniels to try and catch a glimpse of the creature for themselves. And did they ever? So they were walking around the woods when they claimed to have seen the exact creature that McDaniels and that the Garrett kid has seen hanging outside an abandoned house. they were pretty far away from it, so there were no pictures or anything, because of course there wasn't.
So it's just like the Van Meter, how he was in like that abandoned, what was
The
it?
mine shaft.
Yeah, the mine shaft. Now you're
Maybe.
in another abandoned
Yeah.
place.
I was wondering, like, what if there was just a mine that connected this place in Illinois to Iowa?
Yeah.
Like, there's just one big mine. So it was just the Van Meter visitor. He just went to the other. Like, when they shot at him all that night, he's like, oh. And he just went underneath, and it took him that long to finally get to the next town.
Yeah.
So they didn't get any pictures, but they did get the recording of what the creature sounded like. Dude, I hope. I freaking hope that's what it sounded like. That sounded like a turkey on fire. Fucking turkey on fire. So you ready to hear the recording
You're going to play
of
it?
the creature scream? You ready for it?
Oh, great.
Well, no one knows what happened.
Son
to
of a
the-
bitch. There
Sorry,
it is.
son.
There it is. I was
It's
looking
gone.
for it. Son of a-
Nobody has it. Nobody's been able to get it. It's like just been lost in history. And it just really pisses me off because I want to hear what this son of a bitch sounds like.
We need a new Declaration of Independence movie, so what's his name?
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage can go
Freaking
find
right.
this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this thing is a national treasure
Yeah. To us.
to us. So this event was like the abrupt end to the Enfield Monster. Locals have seen or claim to have seen sporadic sightings of the creature. And you wonder if that's just because they have heard the stories before growing up. I found a post. This was by a guy by the name of Zach Starrick, who is the Southern Illinois Monster Hunters member. I don't know if he's a member or president. I don't know. I think he might be like the president of the Southern Illinois Monster Hunters. So he is a monster hunter. But this was in 2022, too.
Oh.
Folks, after tonight, I can stand before you and tell you this. The Enfield Monster is not dead. It is very much alive and well in White County, Illinois. I was on my way home from Bowflexin, from bow fishing for gar up along the Wabash River in upstate Southern Illinois, which kind of made me laugh that it was upstate Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
But I think it's because as soon as you get so far north, it's just Chicago
Yeah.
in Illinois. And I come through Enfield tonight around 8:45 to 9 p.m. on May 17th, 2022. I was coming up on Route 45 and Route 14 intersection south of Enfield, and as I was slowing down to make the stop at the four-way stop, I caught a flash of something out of my right side windshield.
Boobies.
I don't think it was boobies.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool. And what I saw next was something that I had only read about and heard stories about for the past 17 years. Up out of the ditch came a creature that's back would have been measured the level of the hood of my '03 Ford Ranger. It was gray in color like elephant skin and completely hairless, had its arms tucked up like a raptor would in the Jurassic Park movies, sort of a reptilian head with a long snout. It was running on 2 feet and had this third leg drawn up like a tail. It cleared a 2-lane blacktop road in 4 to 6 strides and was back off on the opposite side of the road, and it was gone. I can say to you now, after tonight, the Enfield Monster is as real as you and me, and this thing is alive and well in Southern Illinois. So yeah, he was a team leader of the Southern Illinois Monster Hunters.
Makes me believe it.
You're freaking right.
Team leader, baby.
So there's been sightings as recent as 2022, and going through Reddit and the web, there are quite a bit of sightings of this thing. I didn't really dive into any of the Reddit stories. I don't know.
That's where you get all your answers.
It is
What kind of
where-
researcher
That's
are
why
you?
I actually found this. Somebody posted this on Reddit, and then I double checked it and actually found.
Okay, I'll give that to you.
So
That's okay. You got
Yeah.
a little bit of credit.
that's where I did 90% of my research was on Reddit.
You can do 100%. No,
You're
sorry,
right.
not 100. 96.5.
6.5. KRC. I feel like that should be a radio station.
Yeah.
96.5.
Did I ever tell you, little off topic, for Kendra and I's wedding, her dad had Jumpin' Jeff Walker from 98.5 KRZ
Okay.
as our DJ. He was the DJ at our wedding. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
You
so-
don't, you would if you heard him.
Probably, yeah.
He's like one of the most famous like radio voices in our Your little shitty area.
Yeah, our little tiny central PA area. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's been sightings of this thing's up until 2022, and there's continued to be sightings of the creature pop up sporadically over the years. And one other thing of note, which in my mind, it does mean something, and I comparing it to the lizard man and the goat man.
Ooh, we're bringing them back
This
in.
town hasn't embraced the creature.
I was going to ask you if they have any.
It
no.
does not. It's not like a big cash grab or anything for this town.
Why wouldn't they do that though?
I don't know. In a weird way, I feel like it gives it more credibility to not just look into getting into this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. And plus, it's such a small town. That doesn't help. 500 people. I don't know. There's
But
probably.
I feel like a lot of these other places were small towns too until they started
were,
really
yeah.
amping up these things.
I think and I think they amped it up, and just over time they were able to grow a little bit from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's not a whole lot of people in this town. And I'll also say something about that little idiot Greg Garrett, because this pissed me off when I actually heard it and had to do some research on it. But it pissed me off because he's a douchebag. This is just this little kid, Greg Garrett. So
wasn't he like 10?
At the time, but when he got older, he was around 20 years
He's
old.
probably still alive today.
Yeah, he is.
You try to get a hold of him?
No, he's an idiot. I don't even want to talk to him.
I'll get a hold of him.
Yeah.
He'll probably blow me off,
Yeah.
but
Join the list, Greg.
not in a weird way.
Yeah, not in a weird way. So Greg was being interviewed by, I think it was somebody at Southern Illinois University, to try and this was years later. Was this story true or was it not? And Greg said, no, this wasn't true. I just made the whole thing up to mess with my neighbor.
He actually said this?
That's what he said. Now, you know what bothers me so much with this? This was he saw this thing a half hour before McDaniels came home. He was not messing with. It's not like I
Yeah.
think when he's saying mess with the neighbor, it would be McDaniels saw this thing first, and Garrett is going to say, oh yeah, I saw it too. I saw it running on the train tracks too. You know what I mean? But he has the first claim of seeing this thing.
Because he didn't say anything to McDaniels after he saw it?
I don't think so. There's only a half hour worth of time, and you figure he's sobbing like a little girl to his freaking mom and dad,
Yeah, sucking on
and the
tit.
police are there. So he's not going to just leave when the police are on their way there. The police were still there, I'm pretty sure, when McDaniels called.
Yeah.
So I think this was just all a thing. This little wiener got beat up by the Enfield Monster, and he's just, I really didn't. I just made the whole thing up. Ha ha ha. It's no, it beat your shoes up, and it bothered me.
I hope he got put in a locker when he got to school the next day.
I guarantee he did.
Yeah.
Greg Garrett.
Swirly.
Double G freaking doofus. I don't know. It really bothered me, though, because the timing of everything didn't make any sense. That, I was just messing with my neighbor. It's what, your neighbor that saw this thing a half hour later when the police were at your house?
Yeah,
No, that doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I mean the only way I could think of it is if he was able to say something to the neighbor, and then the neighbor just in his mind was oh my god, this little shit saw this, and then.
But then did he go scratch on the neighbor's door?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Did he
Yeah, it
jump
doesn't
50
make sense
foot?
if it was only. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It just, I don't know. That story weirdly bothered me. That I just thought Greg was an idiot. He lost credibility because I don't like him.
I'm gonna get him on the cast, folks. We'll get the true story right here.
Dude, I'll freaking flip out on that dude.
He'll fight him. He's probably 70 years old now.
I'll freaking fight him. He's
60, 65, 66.
He's born in 62, 60 something, 64, 63.
I mean, he might be able to give you a nice whoopsh.
I'll give that son of a bitch a noogie.
A noogie.
Freaking noogie. And he would deserve a noogie.
Give him a wedgie, dude.
I would, atomic, right over his head. So that's where all the sightings of the Enfield Monster. It's also called, people refer to it as the Enfield Horror, but it's just too confusing with the Enfield Poltergeist and the Enfield Horror.
You're saying whore?
Horror. I'm not saying the whore.
Okay, you gotta really.
I don't. It wouldn't make any. Why would this thing be the Enfield Whore?
She might have got around.
How do you know it's a she? It has a big wiener, you said. My goodness.
Hey, nowadays anything can have a wiener.
Well, that might be true. So there are a couple theories. So the number one theory, and this is the theory that's the most common.
I have a really good theory when you.
What's your theory? No, let's hear it. You go first.
Stitch.
Stitch. That is actually one of my theories. I will get to that. I'll get to that.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Hell yeah!
That's actually my favorite theory. High five.
You're probably being.
I'm dead serious. This is my favorite theory out of all the ones. So the number one theory, and I will say the Stitch theory is more like something I came up with. So that just shows we're freaking stupid together.
But I said it first.
Well, I typed it out yesterday.
I didn't see your notes.
Yeah. So the number one theory is that this thing is some kind of escaped animal. Some say it could be an escaped ape, while most think it's an escaped kangaroo.
I was thinking kangaroo.
The tail looks like a third leg, and the crazy jumping, more or less, is what kangaroos are known for. But I will say this. The theory of the kangaroo. This is where the theory of the kangaroo, I think, comes to a roadblock.
It didn't have a pouch.
Well, let's just read this. I don't know. It might have had a pouch. Henry McDaniels was stationed in Australia during World War II.
Oh.
So he's seen kangaroos before.
He could have took one home with him, though.
Well,
that's what I was thinking.
Son of a bitch. I didn't even think of that. He's just been raising this thing for like 40 years in his basement.
Maybe he took two. He bred them. He has this whole like kangaroo breeding thing going on.
He could have like an underground kangaroo meat operation going.
Yeah, maybe one of them escaped, so this son of a bitch was trying to shoot him down before like the sheriff found out that he's raising kangaroos.
It could be. I don't know why he would raise so much attention and call the radio station, but it could be though. You never know. People are weird.
Yeah.
Now, granted, these sightings were all at night. Still, it would seem that McDaniels would be able to identify a kangaroo, which he claimed his entire life this thing was not. I also have a hard time understanding the creature being shot and just seeming unfazed. This thing was close when he was shooting, and I think I'm pretty sure if you go to point blank is within like 26 foot or something like that of shooting at somebody.
Is it really? I thought it was closer.
No, it's like a lot further than you think it is.
Interesting.
So he's shooting 4 shots at it. Even with a small caliber of like a 22, there would be some sort of damage done. Some hair, some blood, something like that. I think. What do you think?
I mean, unless this thing was like an alien and...
We're getting to that. I'm saying just the kangaroo thing.
Oh, the kangaroo thing? Yeah, this son of a bitch would have been, bleeding.
That's what I think. Yeah, bleeding all over like a stuffed pig. So the second theory involves mass hysteria. That always happens when there's a sighting like this.
In the 70s.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
This is very typical with all these kinds of sightings. We talked about it in pretty much every cryptid encounter. Mothman to Lizard Man to...
Mothman.
I said Mothman.
Oh.
I started with Mothman.
I don't know. You were just going on a man kick.
Yeah. Even in some of our paranormal episode with ghost hunters and such, when people have an idea in their head, predetermined, their mind is going to see what they want to see. Demon. That's one.
Demon.
Could be a demon.
I don't think he's a demon, though.
I don't think
he's not really bad. Like, what has he done?
He ruined that kid's shoes. It's kind
Fucker deserved it, though.
Yeah.
Remember?
Well, he does deserve it. I'm not denying that. Well, he didn't deserve it when he was 10. He deserves it at 20. Like, if he was like 65 and I saw him, I'd tear his shoes up.
I'd rip them and ones right up.
Yeah. He probably has freaking single Velcro ones.
Definitely does. They probably light up, too.
Ooh. Don't make him cooler than he is. Oh, so this one wonders if this wasn't a creature at all, but rather a demon. So it's not like the Van Meter visitor or even a future topic, which is a bad example to use, the Dover demon. This theory kind of says that there's like a hellhole or interdimensional hole in this town that this demon could come up out of. I'm just that's like the most like far-fetched theory I think out of all of them. And the last one is an escaped experiment, which is pretty self-explanatory. A rogue experiment escaped from a government facility or just a lab, seen and just creating panic. Now, I'm not leaning too hard into this one, but I do have a theory that I've been researching and reading about, and we'll call it, Corey named it the Stitch theory. It's an alien theory. Thinking this thing isn't an extraterrestrial creature that crash landed, but it's rather an alien experiment that didn't work out. Instead of destroying it, they just beam it down to Earth, and they just see what happens. Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
I like it.
I feel like that's like in the Stitch realm.
Yeah,
Like an escaped experiment just comes down to Earth and just eats stuff.
Like in my head, I was thinking Stitch like probably, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes after you got into this thing. Stitch was just sticking in my head.
I don't know what it is about it that does give those vibes, though.
I think, well, to me, it's like, with Stitch, like he has like 6 arms or whatever, and he makes like some of them like go away, go back into his body.
I could never fit. It blew my mind as a kid. Where did those arms go?
Yeah, so I'm thinking like that, like he does that, but like instead of like only like bringing like 2 of them back into his body, like he brings 3 of them in, and then he has like the 3 legs or whatever.
So he has
like,
6 legs to start, and just he can like the one
he
he forgets about the leg on his ass. It's back there.
Yeah,
man,
something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was going through my mind.
Yeah, and when I like reading about this thing, the 3rd leg is what really throws me off. I think it's got to be like a tail or a wiener. It's got to be.
Yeah.
They also said when they saw the 3 footprints that there were 3 different sets of footprints.
So that makes me think wiener.
Do you think it would have pads and everything on it like the other 2 feet? Hold on a second. Let's stop. Let's dissect what you just said here first. Why would that definitely mean wiener?
You said 3 different sets of footprints?
Yeah, three sets of footprints.
Like, were 2 of them the same?
Or 3 footprints. There's 3 footprints.
But I'm saying, like, were 2 of them, like,
2 of them were the same size, and
Yeah.
the 3rd one was the same, just a little bit smaller.
So wiener.
Why are there pads on it?
Safety.
And with that, we're going to go on to the folklore score. With the safety. Safety, he said. Safety. Folklore score, here we go.
We're back with the folklore score. And just looking at my score.
Oh, shoot. I didn't add mine up. You just keep talking while I add mine up.
Looking at my score and while Crack Daddy over there adds his score up, I think the Boo Hag is going to be safe for another week.
Well, she's definitely going to be safe. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
All right, I'm good.
That bitch. All right, so let's unveil our scores.
Unveil it?
Yeah.
We got a 22.
17.
And the only reason, like, I had to give him high in something. So I gave it uniqueness because he had 3 legs. I gave him a 9. Only because of the 3 legs. So we'll get into our scores a little bit here.
For those of you that don't know,
Now you know.
our folklore score is a 5-category system. You take over.
Yeah, it's 5 categories. We got spookiness, historical, cultural significance, believability, uniqueness, and threat level. You can get everything a score 1 to 10. I add up my 5, Corey adds up his 5, and then we smush them together and add them up and see what we got. Krampus, number 1.
Hell
74.
yeah. You know what? Hold on. Time out before you talk anymore. I haven't gave my boy Krampus anything lately.
I wonder if Krampus would score high if it wasn't December. I was thinking that the other
that's
day.
True. Like,
we were in the holiday season.
Yeah, we had our holiday shit on.
Yeah.
We had the board all holidayed up.
It's the holiday season. Whatever. Krampus is still awesome.
I think though,
I had a good Reddit story.
looking at it that way though, I feel like the Yule Cat would have made it too because we were in the holiday spirit for the Yule Cat.
Yeah,
that big son of a bitch.
It's true.
But
it's true. We really want to knock the Boo Hag. So the Boo Hag's at 10. If you don't know what the Boo Hag is, go back to episode, I don't know, like 13 or 14. She's been there a while.
Oh yeah, she's just not going away. She's a little bit of a skin tag.
Yeah, she's a sexy swamp witch. Oh yeah. So, but yeah, with that we have our top 10 board going on here. And we really want, like, our goal for the past couple episodes has been to get the Boo Hag out. I thought there was a chance that the Goat Man last week would have taken out the Boo Hag, but it just wasn't meant to be. So, Corey, do you want to go through our scores quick?
Ooh. Dude, this is...
Is this our first 30?
It's our first 30.
First 30!
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da.
First 30.
I'm looking at our spreadsheet right now.
I feel like I gotta read what a 30 is because we don't know. This is barely believable. Son of a bitch. This urban legend struggles to maintain credibility and presents minimal threat levels, failing to evoke significant fear or urgency in listeners. Well, that stinks. That stinks.
It's cool as shit.
It's
not as cool as the
shit.
Van Meter, though.
No, Van Meter is awesome, but this guy's cool, though. I blame Corey for getting him in the 30s anyways. I did my part to get him to the 20s. If Corey would have got to the 20s, could have been in the 40s, but it wasn't meant to be. Anyway, spookiness. I gave it a 5. Corey gave it a 3. Historical and cultural significance, I gave it a 3.
3.
Believability, I gave it a 3.
4.
Oh, there you go. Uniqueness, I gave it a 9.
I gave it a 5. I was kind of in the middle just because of some of the other creatures, like similar situations. Like, yeah, this guy has 3 legs, but...
Dude, 3 legs. That's why I gave him a 9. Purely on, I gave him 3 points a leg. He got a 9. I don't know. It's like, I could already tell this guy's score is going to suck, and it's like, I got to give him one decent, so I gave him a 9. Threat level, I gave it a 2.
Me too.
Yeah. Your sneakers ain't going to be safe, but everything else will be just fine.
So we hope you liked tonight's episode.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for another one.
Please give us a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, or whatever.
Whatever you listen to.
Yeah, whatever app.
And if you want to get your sticker, make sure to send us an email, krakencanscast@gmail.com. Send us that email. Take a screenshot of that review and get it over to us. Free sticker.
And hopefully the stickers are in by the time this comes out, folks.
It should be pretty close.
Should be.
Yeah. But anyways, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Please don't give us any herpes comments on TikTok because I'm done with them.
And if you want to go hop on our Buy Me a Coffee, I'm going to get that all straightened out. You can go buy us a beer on Buy Me a Coffee. There actually is a Buy Me a Beer option on Buy Me a Coffee.
Hell yeah.
So.
Yeah, because coffee sucks.
Corey sucks.
Mike sucks. Harry Potter sucks.
Corey, how did the poll go where we did? Corey ran a poll for Wolverine versus
Mike's
Harry
dumb.
Potter on our Facebook. How'd that go, Corey?
Mike's dumb. End it.
Corey, how'd that go?
TP Aaron.
That's it. Corey had to pay. Corey Venmo'd him $48 to say that Wolverine would win.
I don't think Harry Potter has the balls to hurt my boy Wolverine.
It's all right. Everybody else knows. Corey just doesn't.
Screw him.
With that, I'm Crack Daddy Mike. I'm out of
so
here.
So dumb. I'm out. BK Corey Mike's so dumb.
BK, that stands for the butt crack. Corey stupid, Corey stupid, Corey stupid, Corey stupid.